Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to all of you. Today we will do the balloon expansion experiment which is related to the first law thermodynamic. Firstly, I will introduce our team members which is Nur Atika, Nurul Akida, Asha Nadira and Andrea. The objective of this experiment is to understand the concept of first law of thermodynamic. The introduction of this experiment is the first law of thermodynamics states that energy can neither be created nor destroyed, only altered in form. For any system, energy transfer is associated with mass crossing the control boundaries, external work or heat transfer across the boundary. In this experiment, we will observe the first law thermodynamic by using the balloon to see the transfer of energy through the expansion of balloon.
So this is the materials we are going to use for this experiment, which are empty bottle plastic, balloon, cold water, hot water, ball, and timers or stopwatch. For the timer, we use a timer application in smartphone. The expansion of the balloon is our responding variables, and the temperature of water is our manipulated variables.
The cold water was poured into a bowl. Then prepare a bottle and the balloon was placed over the mouth of the bottle and sealed with the balloon. Then prepare another bottle and do the same for another bottle. For the next step is prepare a bowl of cold water. Record the timer using phone. And then the bottle was placed into the cold water for 2 minutes. Then the expansion of the balloon was observed and recorded. After that, the cold water in the bowl was replaced with hot water. The bottle that sealed with the balloon was placed into the hot water for 2 minutes. Then, the expansion of the balloon was observed and recorded.
So, to keep the balls rolling, I am going to explain the discussion for this experiment. So, from this experiment, the heat energy used are transferred from surrounding into the system, and we are able to see that the air is matter which has weight and takes up space. So when the bottle that sealed with the balloon was placed into the cold water, the balloon does not expand because when the heat was removed, the air molecules contracted, which is got closer together, took up less space, and we can see the balloon collapse and not expand. So, when the bottle that filled with the balloon was placed into the hot water, the balloon was expand because the air expands when it is heated. So the air molecules move faster and faster as the temperature rises, and they could spread out and fill a larger space or raises the pressure in a closed space. As a result, we can see the expansion of air trapped in the bottle and the balloon when it is heated. And apart from that, heat energy can be moved from place to place by conduction, radiation, and convection. The bottle in the hot water gets hot because glass conducts, which is carries or moves heat from one place to another. Convection occurs when the fluid, which is air, is heated and rises in its center. It cools as it rises and then will fall back down the outside of the rising and the hotter fluid. At the bottom of the glass bottle, it is heated again and rises in the center in a steady up and down convective flow. It showed the convection is occurred inside the sealed bottle as heated air rises into the balloon, cools and then falls back into the bottle to be heated again. Last but not least, in conclusion, this experiment can show us about the first law of thermodynamics, which is states that the energy can either be created or destroyed but is conserved. So, we can understand the concept of first law of thermodynamics by running this experiment. We also can observe that the heat energy used in this experiment was transferred from surrounding into the system. There were still some errors that occurred in this experiment, which is bottle used was plastic and it is melted in the hot water, which is affected the changes that the balloon was expected to happen. After all, the objective of this experiment was successfully achieved. That is all for our presentation. Thank you for your time.